Gregor has lived a life of role fulfillment. He has a role to provide for his family, and he is happy there. But when he is transformed into a bug, he is unable to fulfill the most important role in his life, earning money for his family. This transformation does not simply mean that he is unemployed. It means that he cannot exist as a human being in a capitalist society. Today, we see a lot of people sacrificing themselves to make money. The fact that so many people have already set their sights on doing something that will pay well, instead of doing what they really want to do, shows that human existence is under threat. When we come into the world, we are not born with a clear purpose, like an object. We don't have a fixed essence, but rather, our essence exists in the process of living our existence. However, in capitalist society, humans are becoming like objects. Although people are heading in different directions, they converge on the purpose of making money. And people are preoccupied with making money at the expense of their present selves. People say they made a choice to make money, but it was forced upon them. The pressure to make money comes into play because without money, you can't live in a capitalist society. If you buy the things you want with your income, you'll be happy for a while, but then the happiness will fade and emptiness will take over. You've been living your life without questioning yourself and relying on authority, because they have not listened to their own voice. They lose their sense of self and find their raison d'etre in other things. In Gregor's case, he had forgotten himself and crumpled under the weight of his pride in being able to provide for his family. When he started working to help his family cope with the hardships caused by his father's business failure, Gregor changed jobs. Changing jobs from a store assistant to a salesman must have caused him to suffer from constant anxiety, because his salary depended on his performance. He had to push himself to perform, and he was obsessed with performance. Because he had lived his life focused on money instead of asking questions about himself. He sought energy from others, just as a machine needs energy, and that would have been his family. He shows his dedication to his family by planning to send his sister to music school. And money is what makes it all possible. He has given up wondering why he exists. And money is the only way he can see love in his family. That's why, even when he turns into a bug, he doesn't want to return to being a human, he just wants to get back to work. However, Gregor eventually turns into a bug, and is unable to return to human form. For Gregor, the transformation into a bug was an opportunity to escape the oppression of money. It gives him a chance to see the other side of things. His transformation into a bug gave him freedom. He no longer had to go to work and provide for his family. He was freed from the role that had been binding him. Before, he had been forced to do things and look to others for reasons. But now he could make his own choices and act on his own. Gregor liked to hang from the ceiling until he fell. And this came from the liberation he felt from being free from social conventions and being able to do as he pleased. Freedom should have been happiness for Gregor, whose life was dominated by oppression. But his family and society were too harsh to ensure his happiness. His existence was a threat to those living under capitalism. Individuals who seek freedom are rarely socially idealized or positive. For those who follow the order of society and dream of success within that order, acting against it is anathema. A disempowered individual seeking freedom would be a worm. The idea of an economically disempowered individual seeking freedom is an insect. People who have already lost the possibility of moving on to another world because they have been captured by the capitalist order, rejected out of inertia, despite the possibility of moving on to a new world. Moreover, Gregor is not useful to a society that is not economically active. It is even more difficult to see Gregor in a positive light, as a free Gregor is of no use to them in their lives. The family treats Gregor well because he is family, but as they live day to day in the grip of money, they begin to act differently from their intentions. When the family starts to make money, Gregor becomes a nuisance. His room starts to fill up with things he doesn't use, and he can't get enough to eat. As for the younger sister, she humanizes her brother Gregor when he is not working. But when she started earning money, she began to look at Gregor from a capitalist perspective and realized that it was economically detrimental to support him. Before that, she was able to live in a big house because he brought in money. However, income has decreased, she must move. But she can't do it because of Gregor. From that moment on, she could only treat Gregor coldly. In this situation, Gregor tries to leave the room as a free individual. But his attempt only serves as a good opportunity for the family to let go of the emotional ties. He was free in the room. But the moment he goes beyond the room, he must face the harsh world. When he hears his sister's music and walks out, The tenants take advantage of the situation to compensate him. When the family is forced to make reparations, they agree that the bug is not Gregor. When a free man tries to enter society, society uses and marginalizes him. In the end, Gregor dies from a festering wound caused by the apple his father threw at him. This shows how a free individual is thwarted by a capitalist society. When Gregor leaves the room and tries to interact with his family, it's his attempt to interact without his role. However, because he is unable to fulfill his role of earning money, his family blocks his attempts. The life that a free individual in society tries to lead is unsympathetic and cold. It's not about money, it's about the individual's self-worth. Gregor's behavior itself is as repulsive as a bug. In a capitalist society, a human being who falls in love with capital is eventually ostracized. But Gregor's death in vain does not make life any better for those who remain. The family travels as if they are starting a new life. But in the end, the oppression of having to earn money awaits them. And this oppression will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Gregor is dead, but he is free. And he has plenty of time to contemplate his existence. When we realize that Gregor, who was thought to be a bug, is a human being, we are bugs. We call Gregor a bug, but aren't we the real bugs?